Welcome back to my channel. Okay, y'all. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful, beautiful Saturday, enjoying the time off, because it's needed. Today, we are hopefully going to get back to protective styles. I can already see that I'm on, so that's awesome. So, I'm just going to jump right in because I have always got something to do. My name is Tiana. I do all kinds of things on this channel. Following my micro-Locs journey is the biggest thing, but we talk about hair care and doing hair stuff and all of that fun stuff. So that's what we're doing today. We're trying to do. It's super windy outside. I wanted to be outside, but it's windy, so yeah, we're gonna do the best that we can. I'm literally holding a stand between my feet. So let's see how it goes. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there who are going to celebrate Father's Day tomorrow, and we appreciate them as well as our mothers too, and just thank you all for all that you do. Alright, so let's see if we can get this done, or at least some of it done. Protective styling is such a big topic because it's so important. Like, it's so important. But okay, last time we were talking about putting your hair in buns, and we talked about how to do that. So if you didn't catch the last live, go ahead and check that out. Also, if you're enjoying this live, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you're subscribed already, I see this is going to keep moving. If you're subscribed already, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, hopefully you see something that interests you and you will subscribe. But yes, so we talked about buns and how to protect your hair in buns. That could be a great protective style if done correctly, because if it's done wrong, it could be the opposite. And that's probably with anything that's good for you. If done wrong, it could be the opposite of good. So much noise outside. We talked about two-strand twist, and for them, if they were calling it braids, but we don't do braids, so we're talking about two-strand twist. And see, I can't remember if we talked about, okay, we talked about saturating your ends, blah blah blah. See, I don't think we did this part. I don't think so. We're gonna kind of pick up there. So I'm not sure if we did this or not, so if I did, please forgive me. No, I think we did say this. Not retaining your growth. I think we talked about the sides, so if we didn't, just, the curlier your hair is, the bigger your two-strand twist need to be. So if you're using two-strand twist as your protective style, the curlier your hair, the bigger your twist should be. If you have like a looser curl, or a curl that to you doesn't get tangled up too easily, or when you put it in two-strand twist, it easily comes out and it doesn't mat together too much. Hi, Sister Carolyn. Happy Saturday. If you have a looser curl, go ahead and you could use smaller ones if you want to. For me, again, when I did mine, especially when we did our whole year of not doing anything to our hair, I use big twists. Me and my sister were just talking about it, Shades of Sage, and if you didn't already, go check out her channels, all things motherhood, about maternal health and all of that fun stuff. But we were just talking about it, and I was saying how when I did mine, y'all, literally I would have to use like 6 big twists, because using small twists for me, my hair would just tangle up way too much because of how tight my curl is. And even though I have locks, you can still see some of the curls. Like, it's very, very tight. Oh, but it's so cute, right? So with the curl like that, I could not do small twists. I had to do big ones. Yes, I think we talked about spraying them. Just making sure I didn't skip this part. Alright, so now we're on to washing them. Best way to wash them out. So here's her advice. She says, get an empty spray bottle, mix 1/3 of shampoo and 2/3 of water. So 1/3 of shampoo, 2/3 water. Shake it up, spray the solution on your scalp, massage it into your roots, your scalp, and allow it to run down your two-strand twist, and rinse that out thoroughly. But never put the shampoo directly onto your twist. Not only will a thick shampoo get stuck in between your twists, but it's hard to wash out and may dry out your hair, which may be a little true, because even with locks, when I do locks, when I wash mine or I wash others' locks, I focus more on the scalp more than anything. Because if you're not putting anything in your hair, you don't really have much to wash out besides like a daily environmental stuff, and like if you sweat something could focus on your scalp. So get the spray bottle, focus on your scalp, and then like we do with locks, as you get to when you're almost done, you run it through your whole hair, and then you do like a squeezing method to try to squeeze it into your twist. And also when you rinse it, you do the same thing. You keep squeezing it so that it all squeezes out for you, so that you don't have any shampoo buildup in your hair, which would definitely dry it out. Here we go. So she talks about wearing weaves and wigs, which I'm not a proponent of. So for me though, for us in our faith, we always keep our head covered. So we might not wear weaves or wigs, but we wear head wraps. And so here is the part that I am most passionate about, because we already cover our hair, ladies. So protective styles for somebody who wears hair wraps is so much easier if done the right way, because again, if done the wrong way, it will dry your hair out, mess your hair up, all of that negative stuff. So they will protect having a head wrap on. So where she puts weaves and wigs, I'm just going to say head wraps. So having a head wrap on will protect your hair beneath the style. And if you haven't already, I did do a video when I first started YouTube like 3 years ago on different head wrap styles, and I think I gave like 15 or something like that. So plenty of styles that you can do, and they do work really well with 2-strand twists, and they can still look stylish, because sometimes you get in a rut and you don't really know how to wear your scarf, or you wear it the same way all the time. So there's plenty of videos on YouTube, and I have one as well where you can check it out and get a bunch of styles. So it can still give you style versatility. So you never go through the awkward stage of trying to style your hair. You never have to go through that awkward stage of growing it out and trying to style it at the same time. And so the advantage is that wearing a scarf gives you, I don't know what that was, but wearing a scarf gives you direct access to your own hair, because you can wash it, condition it with better ease. And if your hair needs to be treated in order to benefit from the growth spurt, then you're able to do that as well. So if you're wearing a scarf, or as one of your protective styles, because that is something I did for the year and it totally worked, because I was able to do so many things that we talked about in this book, because I was wearing it in a scarf and keeping it covered all the time. But I would say choose a protective style. Never, ever, ever, and I see this a lot and it's really not good, but never just put a scarf on your hair and you didn't do your hair. And like I said, I did a video where I was like, don't have a messy head, and everybody thought that was so funny, but I was so serious. But you can't just say, oh, I'm gonna wear a scarf, and you're just gonna throw it on your hair. What I see a lot from some people that wear scarves is they wash their hair, condition it nicely, get it nice and moist, and nice and moist. You can tell they refreshed it, and then they put like a cotton scarf on top of it, and they really didn't do anything to their hair. They just threw the scarf on top. That is not good. One, because your ends are exposed. So like we talked about with the buns, you would always want to kind of keep your ends tucked in as much as possible. As much as possible. Does not always work out that way. Did I always do that when I was a loose snatch and wore scarves? No. But as much as possible, that's something that should be in the back of your mind, because the more you do it, the more benefits you'll have from it. But you should not be just taking your hair and putting it there. So a couple of ways, and I do, like I always say, I do hope to do a video just showing more scarf underneath scarf styles, because what you can do is you can do 2-strand twists, you can do flat twists, something underneath of your scarf, so that if you want to wake up and just put a scarf on, you have that option to just wake up and put a scarf on. But it keeps your hair from being loose. That way you can still take care of your hair. So for me, when I did it the whole year, and I did not show my hair actually for a whole year, because I just wanted to see how much would it grow, keeping it in a protective style and not working on it. What I was able to do was about 6 or 5 chunky twists, y'all. 6 or 5 chunky twists, which was a sacrifice, but I had just did the big chop and I wanted to get as much growth as possible. But I did the 5 or 6 chunky twists. Then when I take a shower, I was able to wet my hair every single day while they were in a twist. So I was able to let the water run through it. Of course, if I had to wash it, because the twists were so big, I was usually on like a 2-week wash schedule. So I was able to wash it every 2 weeks, take them out real quick, wash it in the shower, and then put them back in. But there was something I was going to say. Oh, I just lost my thought that quick. So you're doing a big twist so that you can wash it every day. I can't remember. I really can't remember. But you are still keeping your hair protected. So for me, because my hair is so curly, if I pull my hair into a bun or something like that, it will put a lot of tension on it. But when you have your hair in a twist, see, me pulling on one lock puts a lot of tension on that one lock. But if I could take all the locks and twist them together, or all of your hair, a chunk of your hair, and twist it together, and then try to get that to go, back into a bun, it just is stronger together than it is if it's just one. And it prevents breakage that way. So that's why it was really good for me to put it into the large twist. But again, I was able to do whatever I wanted with my hair. Now, it is a good idea if you're doing head wraps as a protective style to get satin head wraps as much as possible. And they have a bunch of those on Amazon. I bought a couple, and I think I do have a video when I talk about my nighttime routine. You can get satin scarves, use those as your head wraps. You can also get the satin scarves that are really small, and use those, and maybe just put that around your edges before you put a head wrap on. Or if you're putting your hair in a bun, or if you're putting your hair, like if you want to put your hair in a bun, or you want to kind of put it in like a big ponytail in the back, and it still is kind of like, like a little afro it might look like, then you could still put a bonnet on top of those, on top of your little afro, on top of your ponytail, on top of your curls, before you wrap it with that cotton scarf. And all of those things will keep the moisture in. However, you do not want to do tight ponytails, not tight buns underneath your scarves. That will defeat the purpose. You will get breakage. And also, please remember that you do not have to make your initial bun or your initial ponytail tight. If you're going to put a scarf on it, there's no need to make your bun or your ponytail tight, because when you go and put the scarf on it and you start wrapping that scarf around, it will get tighter. So if you took the time to put your hair into such a tight ponytail in the back, or up high, or however you decide to do it, and then you go and wrap it with the scarf on top of it, you could be making it way too tight and then causing breakage, whether it's on your edges, or if it is the part that your hair is actually in a ponytail. Because I see a lot of people whose hair I do, and especially if they wear hair coverings a lot, where their middle part is maybe much shorter than all the rest of it, and that is more than likely because of the bun. So if you are putting your hair into a scarf style, like I said, you do want your hair done underneath the scarf, but it does not have to be the tightest thing on earth. You want it to be comfortable, even loose for that initial thing on your hair, because when you wrap it with the scarf, it's going to get tighter. So keep that in mind, and that will help you with your protective styling. So yes, after this, we get to the last part. Let me see. After this, she's going to talk about specifically the O'Hara method, because again, when I read this book, it was just called Grow It Long, but now it's called like Grow It Long using the O'Hara method. So it's kind of the same thing, but she named it a method. So we'll talk about specifically, let's see how many steps. She has 6 steps here that you could do for, somebody scared me. 6 steps that you could do to maintain your hair and to keep your hair nice. And then she's going to talk about some things that you could do every single day, and then we'll talk about things you could do every single week, and something you could do every month. So she's going to give you 6 steps that you could do to start your natural hair journey or your growth journey. And then she's going to give you steps you could do every day, steps that you would want to do every week, steps that you would want to do monthly. But protective styles is going to be a big thing. I am a proponent of protective styles if you do it correctly. And also, because I'm not sure if I said this, I can't remember, but whenever you put your hair in a protective style, yes, keep it moisturized the whole time. It should never ever be getting dry, having that dry, brittle look. If it does, then you have defeated the purpose, and you have 2 options. That's either wash it out and redo it, or try to refresh it in a sense that you spray it or moisturize it with something and see if that refreshes it. And if it does not bring it back to life, then again, just take it out and redo it. So side of a lot of breakage or hair on your comb, it's never a good idea if you have curly hair for the most part to be combing through your hair or brushing through your hair while it's dry, taking it out of that protective style. So if you could use conditioner or something, I don't know if you've ever seen people take out locks and they put conditioner, like a bunch of conditioner on their locks to comb it out. You honestly want to use kind of the same method when you're taking out a protective style, so that you can eliminate breakage, so that your hair is staying moisturized while you're taking out. So protective styles means you do have to keep your hair moisturized while it's in, when you're putting it in, and especially when you're taking out as well, so that you don't lose any growth. But I hope this video helps. If you have any more ideas, questions, suggestions, go ahead and leave them down